welcome to Asian Pulse Television. I'm your host Manvi Randhawa and thank you for turning into this informative and educational network. We are broadcasting from the unceded territories of Semiahmoo First Nation, Katsi and Kwantlen First Nation. First of all, wish you all a very happy Family Day, which is falling on February 19th. Most of the schools and most of the places will be closed to celebrate Family Day in BC. And Family Day is always the third Monday in February. This day is set aside to spend some quality time just with your loved ones or with your family. Family is equally important, so ask those individuals whose families are not around. Probably they have left them for XYZ reasons, or they have come to a different country to immigrate and to settle in. So give them some love, give them some support, but go enjoy Family Day. February is also a heart month, which basically means a time to raise awareness about the importance of cardiovascular health and an opportunity to focus on what can be improved to have a better heart health. Heart disease impacts almost all of us at some point in our lives, either directly or indirectly. It is the second leading cause of death for both men and women in Canada. That is why prevention plays a very important role when it comes to cardiovascular diseases. So behaviors like being physically active, eating a variety of healthy food, limiting the highly processed foods, not smoking or probably quit smoking, getting proper sleep and managing your stress can be some of the helpful steps. Moving forward, wish you all a very happy Valentine's Day, which is a special day for couples as well as for people who care about each other. This is a very special day. If you are planning to take your Valentines out for dinner this evening, your choices are unlimited. And you can go for an event that is happening in your city. We'll talk about it in the event section. But at home, if you are cooking a good meal for your girlfriend, for your boyfriend, you are making chocolates or delivering them flowers, all these things will just make them happy. But don't forget to celebrate this day of love every day, not just on 14th Feb. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. It's very unfortunate that every 5 minutes a car or a truck is stolen in Canada. Now, if you are driving a fancy or expensive car, make sure you lock them. Because thieves are very smart. They can drive it away in a very less time. And police and everyone else who's been a victim of this is suggesting that it is better to use old ways to lock your steering. The thieves will find it harder to drive away these cars. Helpful, right? It's time for a short break. I will be right back after some words from our sponsors.
I understand how important it is to have a place called home, and it's frustrating using your hard-earned money on rent. Vic Prasad can make you a homeowner. Get pre-approved services provided to first-time buyers and new immigrants. You can qualify for mortgage even if you have bad credit. Call Vic Prasad now on 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is associated with Craft Mortgages Canada Incorporated. I understand how important it is to have a place called home, and it's frustrating using your hard-earned money on rent. Vic Prasad can make you a homeowner. Get pre-approved services provided to first-time buyers and new immigrants. You can qualify for mortgage even if you have bad credit. Call Vic Prasad now on 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is associated with Craft Mortgages.
This is HSBC Vancouver 7s. World-class rugby. Electrifying atmosphere. Pulse-pumping partying. February 23rd to 25th. Get your tickets now at van7s.com.
For any kind of visa-related services, contact Milky Way Immigration, a galaxy of opportunities located at Unit 209-9547 152 Street, Surrey, BC. They have licensed immigration consultants, placement officers, and LMIA experts to meet your immigration and recruitment needs. Book one-time free consultation either on Facebook or by calling 604-396-0005. Bollywood Banquet Hall and Conference Center, located at Pyle Business Center at 201-8166 128th Street in Surrey. No celebration is too small to accommodate you. They have newly renovated 2 halls to serve you, up to 1,000 guest capacity, top-notch chefs to delight you with delectable and heavenly cuisine. So just call Bollywood Banquet Hall at 604-598-2700 for your events. United Pallets and Crates is located at 11585 134th Street in Surrey, BC. Give Sam Dooler a call at 604-760-2700
604-634-2028.
or call the office number at 604-634-2001. You can also visit the website, which is www.unitedpalletsandcrates.com, or send us email at info@palletsandcrates.com. Thank you, sponsors. If you would like to sponsor and if you would like to provide some sponsorship to any segment of our TV show, you can contact Kamila Singh at 604-537-5123. February is celebrated as a Black History Month, so this time in our studio we have Said Kuhan, who is an activist and a community organizer, to talk about the awareness.
Hello and welcome to Asian Pulse. Today's show is a very special show for this year or this month. Why I say special? I guess all the shows are special, but for this month, it's a Black History Month. And I think Black History Month doesn't cover the struggles that Black people had suffered on this earth, on this planet. 1 month is not enough. But we are very, very fortunate to bring one of the activists, consultant, and a friend, I would say, that I have known her for more than, say, about 40 years. We have done many jobs together, consulting together, advisory committees together, and it is my privilege and pleasure to invite Sadie Kuhn to our studios to talk about Black History Month and what she has been doing since the last time she was here. So stay tuned. Thank you so much, Sadie. Be able to get into our studio so early in the morning.
Yeah.
And you're looking great.
Well, you always look terrific.
Well, for me, I dress up, but you always look
No,
good.
I thought
Dress
I'd be a
up
little
Yeah.
casual today.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So how have you been?
I'm doing well, thanks. Busy, but doing good. Yeah. And excited about some of the things that are happening right now and the ongoing connections and working together of a wide diversity of communities, which is, as you know, what I really, really strive to have happen. And so I'm pretty excited, not only about Black History Month, the fact that it's also the beginning of the Lunar New Year, and our ongoing work with the South Asian community, and indigenous communities is, all of that is so very important, and any of us can only do it because when we are working together effectively, and it makes me very excited and pleased about the ongoing work that we're doing.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask you one thing. I don't think I ever asked you before. What made you got involved in this political arena to bring awareness? And I know how your people have suffered everywhere in the world, wherever we can talk about. What was the striking or the breaking point that you thought, I cannot sit back and listen to what's happening around the world. I need to get involved and bring awareness.
Yeah.
So what we suffered, or our grandparents, or their parents suffered, that I want to make sure that my children or my grandkids will not go through the same path.
Right. That's a very
It's a really
intricate
yeah.
question, and I guess in talking about that beginning, I guess I'd have to say that the thing that has brought me to the work is growing up. I grew up in a place called Savannah, Georgia. And when I grew up, I was 76.
Okay.
It was a segregated area of the U.S. And a place where, of course, black folks could not go to equal schools or schools that were equal. So when I was growing up at 4 and 5, I caught a bus about 8 miles outside of the city. To take it in, which was, I lived in a black area and took it into the city to, for school. The schools that I went to were a parochial school, basically a private school run by nuns and priests. But the last time someone asked me the question, I went back in my thoughts and was clear that from the time I was about 8, I was clear that the issues of race and gender were major. And that I had to be the very best that I could be in order to make a difference for myself and for the people around me. And that wasn't isolated just to people of African descent. It was also included people of, there was a large Jewish community, and similarly, they were looked down upon to a certain extent. But the understanding that the struggles that we're in, as women, as people of color, as indigenous peoples in North America, that it's a common struggle, right, for equality, because we were all covered under laws, right, that limit our participation. Black people, certainly in all of the Commonwealth, wound up being in a particular situation that legally kept saying that they were not whole people. And we know that indigenous people in the Americas also suffered the same fate. And it really is important for people to understand that difference, because often it gets swept aside. But to be legally designated is not a full person, and that affects medical your ability to access proper education, because the justification is that you can't learn, not that rather than you might be able to learn, but so it limits your ability to be all that you can be, and not only to say that you couldn't have the same kind of schools because you weren't perfect enough, but then to say you couldn't go to any of those other schools because your brain obviously wasn't quite big enough, and all the kinds of racist kinds of attitudes and policies that existed, and how that really impacts individuals and communities, but the society as a whole. Right?
When you face racism at such an early age, it doesn't matter who you become or who you are. I don't think that glimpse or that portrait of your growing up, your childhood, that's what molds us, who we are today, that never goes away.
No, I think when we look...
Just you keep on fighting to be equal, be visible in the community, but deep at the back of our mind, we always think the struggles that we have come across to be able to sit here and talk, right?
One of the things I think that has always driven me from deciding to go into the Domestic Peace Corps and being the youngest person there, going and being trained legally and all those things, and being the first, as you know, the first person of color to be elected to the Vancouver School Board. It was that commitment, again, to be not trying to top someone else, but being the very best that I could be. But not seeing it as an isolated matter, but understanding it as being If I have particular skills and developments, I will use that for not just me, but for everyone that I come in contact with, right? That whole notion of how do we support each other to be the very best that we can be as people, right?
Yep.
And move on. And if we can build a more fair and just society, what a much better place that will be for all of us, right?
When I look back at the history, and I know that when I compare Americans with Canadians, well, at least we have a first black president in USA, right?
Yeah.
And I think that time when I found out he was going to be the president, tears started coming down. And I said, I don't think I can live on this earth to see a black man walking up in the White House. Why we name the White House is supposed to be people of white color. It's not, and black people, if I can recall the history right, they were the people that used to do the cleaning up. They were the slaves to clean up whoever the president of USA. So that was a history making. And when you look at all what's happening in there, still give credit to USA that they have elected a black president, and we are nowhere close in here. Not even a woman. A woman was here for about 3 months. And what was Kim Campbell?
Yeah.
And she was gone.
Yeah.
She just filled. So we have still a lot to learn and a lot to move forward. So before I forget, can you talk about the book that you bought?
Yeah, this is one of the books that I wanted to mention today. For people who might want to learn a little bit about Black people in Canada, one of the books, the early one, is called Negro, right? And it's by Lawrence Hill. The one that I have here is a book. It's called Races, and it's by Valerie Jerome. And Valerie Jerome was an Olympic athlete. She was a teacher. She was a politician and ran for the Green Party. And she has written this book, and it's an amazing book in terms of talking about her experience as a black person that was born and grew up in Canada. She grew up on the North Shore. She and her siblings and parents had a place there, and so went to school on the North Shore. And again, her commitment to, as they say, lift as we climb, right? Helping other students. And her brother, Harry Jerome, who was, people know, a Olympic athlete. So the both of them ran and for Canada and were very successful in that way, but their experiences were very harsh and problematic, and in the kinds of she talks about some of those negative experiences, but also the people who came to her aid, who supported her and the family during those very difficult times, as we know, experiencing being called names and things as a young child and being harassed in all kinds of ways, having on the North Shore people like Doug Collins and others, as we may recall.
Yes, we do.
And his writings and his attitudes, that it was not very pleasant. Again, how do we acknowledge those harsh realities, but also build pathways to move forward, right? And move on. And basically, her book chronicles her experiences. It also is uplifting and saying, you know, I fought through all of this, and I'm so excited to continue on with working with others to continue to uplift everyone, right?
Yeah.
Because it seems to me that that is the piece that Canada can share.
Yeah.
As you know, the Mr. Humphreys, who was involved in writing the first articles for the International Declaration of Human Rights, was a Canadian. And Canada kind of shucking and jiving half the time. Also supported the 3 conferences on anti-racism and other intolerances that have taken place in South Africa, jointly with South Africa. So those are things we can be proud of, and we can continue on in helping to make Canada the kind of place we all desire it to be. It hasn't gotten there yet, neither of the U.S., as we all know, but we can continue the work to help it be what we want it to be.
I think we can sit here and talk hours, and I love hearing from you because you have been through, you have written books, you have done a lot of lectures and things like that. But it's amazing. I don't think anybody who even reads all these books, I think Black history and Aboriginal history, those are 2 things that I find you can never say you know it all. No, it doesn't matter how many books you read, it doesn't give to the root of what they have been through, right?
No.
The history.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's very, very important for all of us. If you're going to pick a book to read, let's start with the Black History Month, or Black history, as well as Aboriginal history. Yeah, and they go hand in hand, whether we are Canadians, whether we are Americans, or whether we are we live in any part of the world, doesn't matter. The history remains the same. Yeah. Having said that, with that, I am so privileged and honored to have you here, and hope so next year, mark it down on your calendar. You are always welcome, or anything else that's happening, you are always welcome to come and educate me, educate us, educate the community. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sadie. There are quite a few events planned during this month, so get yourself educated about the history of Black people in Canada. Go attend any of these events and learn more about it. Now we move to the announcement sections of the upcoming events. HSBC Canada Sevens is a 3-day international Rugby 7 tournament, which is hosted on February 23rd, 24th, 25th at BC Place in Vancouver. For the second year in both men and women competition, it will be hosted on the same tournament weekend, bringing 24 teams. So, for more information, contact info@bcrugby.ca, or you can also call 604-533-5330. PICS Mega Job Fair is coming on February 22nd at the Coriation Community Center in Vancouver. Over 1,000 people come to PICS Mega Job Fair each and every year just to get a job. So better buckle up, take all your profile in one resume, put it on a paper, make a covering letter, and go drop yourself there. You go there, you meet people, and that's how you build connections. That's how the employers can spot you. For more information, call 604-596-7722. PICS is also hosting a fundraising gala, which is taking place on February 12th at Fraserview Banquet Hall in Vancouver. This will be the largest fundraiser for Guru Nanak Diversity Village, which is a long-term home care for seniors. Keynote speaker, Glenn Clark. So for sponsorship and tickets, call PICS at 604-596-7722. Fijian Focus and Bula Beats TV, in partnership with Angel Music Productions, are doing a fundraiser for Surrey Food Bank. They serve over 1,800 hampers per month in Surrey because hunger is not seasonal. So in order to help them, this event is taking place on April 13th at Taj Park Convention Center in Surrey. For tickets and sponsorships, you can call Sarah Sharma at 604-992-7253. You can also call Mike Singh at 604-818-9405. International Women's Day celebration is on March 1st from 6 p.m. onwards until 11 p.m. at Taj Park Convention Center in Surrey. The address is 8580 132 Street in Surrey. Tickets are $40 per person or $3.50 for a table of 8. Please call 778-872-5200 or call 604-773-8568 for tickets and further information. If you are organizing an event in your community and you want us to promote it for you, email us at asianpulse@gmail.com. We have ran out of time now, and I hope you have enjoyed the show as much as I do bringing it to you. You can always tune in on Shaw Cable every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m., Thursday at 8:30 p.m., and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. to watch our shows. Our shows are also broadcasted in Calgary on Channel 10, which is also a Shaw Cable network, and it is also uploaded every time on YouTube under Kamila Singh Show. Before I leave, I want to leave you with these thoughts. Injustice, poverty, slavery, ignorance. These may be cured by reform or revolution. But people do not live only by fighting evil. They live by positive goals, individual or collective, and a vast variety of them, seldom predictable. So we need to change that. I'm your host, Manvi Randhawa. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to see you all next week at the same channel, same show. In the meantime, take good care of yourself. Ciao.
I understand how important it is to have a place called home, and it's frustrating using your hard-earned money on rent. Vic Prasad can make you a homeowner. Get pre-approved services provided to first-time buyers and new immigrants. You can qualify for mortgage even if you have bad credit. Call Vic Prasad now on 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is associated with Craft Mortgages Canada Incorporated. I understand how important it is to have a place called home, and it's frustrating using your hard-earned money on rent. Vic Prasad can make you a homeowner. Get pre-approved services provided to first-time buyers and new immigrants. You can qualify for mortgage even if you have bad credit. Call Vic Prasad now on 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is associated with Craft Mortgages.
This is HSBC Vancouver Sevens. World-class rugby. Electrifying atmosphere. Pulse-pumping partying. February 23rd to 25th. Get your tickets now at van7s.com.